You've probably heard the statistic that you are more likely to spend more money when using a credit card versus cash. But using credit cards responsibly can offer huge benefits, and it's honestly just an important life skill to learn. So today, let's talk about ways to budget and quit overspending when using credit cards. Hey guys, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel, we talk about life and money and how you can enjoy life while still accomplishing financial goals through the use of a budget. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos. Now, talking about credit cards, I use credit cards, and I know that for some people this can be a really taboo subject. Some people avoid credit cards like the plague, and I used to be one of those people where I thought, like, I will never use a credit card. Through my entire time in college, I didn't use a credit card. But once my husband Jacob and I got married, we decided that we did want to start using credit cards and learn how to use them responsibly. So we opened up just like one credit card and we put a few bills on it and paid it off every month. And we learned how to responsibly use a credit card, which I will talk about. But from there, our usage of credit cards grew, and we now have a few credit cards that we regularly use and pay off every month. By using credit cards, we were able to take advantage of a lot of benefits like airline miles, free flights, and also lots of cash back that we used for Christmas, while never paying a single penny in credit card interest. So I'm a huge fan of using credit cards, but using them responsibly and paying them off every single month. And as my disclaimer to this, I would never encourage anyone to use a credit card if they are keeping a balance on it every month or if you already have credit card debt. This isn't the video for you. Cut up a credit card, pay it off, and start using cash and getting on a budget to establish your finances. But if credit cards aren't a huge temptation for you and aren't getting you into debt, then this is the video for you. And let's talk about ways to make sure you are not overspending and also how to integrate credit card purchases into your budget. Let's first talk about the benefits to credit cards. Like I shared, we've been able to utilize credit card benefits to do a lot of free things. I know that Dave Ramsey will say that you don't become a millionaire off of credit card points, and that's totally true. But you can also get things for free by spending money you were planning to spend anyway, which is a great benefit to those who can use credit cards responsibly. We have an Alaska Airlines credit card, which we earn airline miles with, but we also get a companion fare every year where we just have to pay $100 for that second ticket. It's been an awesome perk for us to go to Hawaii basically every year, pay for one ticket and get the other one for $100. We also have a Hilton credit card, which we have used for free hotel stays. And then we have a USAA cash back card, which earns 1.5% cash back on any kinds of shopping, and we save up that cash back throughout the whole year and then use it as our Christmas fund in December. Now, it's important to pick the credit card that has the benefits that work best for you. This isn't that video, but there are so many credit card options out there and things that you may want to consider when picking a credit card. But let me know in the comments below if you want to see an additional video on that of different types of credit cards and their benefits. But those are just the ones that we have, not saying that those are the ones you should have. But all that to say, credit cards can give you really great benefits and get to do things for free, like traveling or cash back. Another benefit to using credit cards is the safety. By using a credit card, it is much easier to avoid losses from fraud. If someone were to steal your debit card number and use your card for fraudulent purchases, it would definitely take some time for the bank to do some investigating and for you to get back that loss. But with using a credit card, you aren't out any money. You just notify your bank of the fraud and they take care of it for you. I actually had this happen to us once. We were on a cruise, and when I got back from the cruise, like back to land after not having internet for 7 days, I saw that there were some fraudulent purchases made on my credit card. It definitely wasn't convenient because we were traveling, but we did have other cards with us and other things that we could use. But right then I called the credit card company and they walked me through it and canceled those fraudulent transactions. Super easy. And then they sent me a new card in the mail and I didn't have to worry about that being tied to my bank account. So that's another great benefit to using credit cards. Now, there definitely are some risks that come with using credit cards, mainly getting yourself into credit card debt. That's definitely a risk if you're overspending, spending money that you don't have and not paying off your card. And you could also be spending more money than you would with cash. With cash, you have that feeling of something leaving your hands when you pay, but with a card, you're just swiping or just entering your number online to be able to make a purchase, so it just feels different. Studies show that people typically spend 12 to 18% more with using a credit card, but please don't let that stop you from using credit cards and utilizing those benefits. There definitely are ways to combat that. So let's talk about 4 ways that you can work to stop overspending with your credit card. The first way is to change your mentality about credit cards and just use it like you would a debit card, which means paying it off in full every month or even multiple times a month. You can do that as well. And never pay a dime in interest. So if you don't have the money in your bank account, in your checking account, you shouldn't be spending that money with your credit card. Don't view your credit card as buy now and pay later, but instead buy something because you have the money in your checking account. And with that, never pay a dime in interest. You can set up automatic payments with your credit card to pull automatically from your bank account to make sure that you're always paid in full at the end of the month or whenever you want to have that set. And that's a great way to make sure that you never pay a single dime in interest. The second way to make sure you don't overspend with credit cards is to set and update your budget. Here on my channel, we talk all about budgeting. I have so many videos on budgeting and I'm very passionate about it. A budget is simply a plan for your finances where you can list out all of your expenses, all of the money that's going towards debts, savings, all the things. And this is just a plan for your spending for the month. I'll go ahead and leave my budgeting playlist here and you can check that out if you are new to budgeting. And also I have a budget template available for sale on my shop, which I will have a link to in the description box down below if you want to check it out. And that's what I use every single month for our household budget. It works in Excel, Google Sheets, numbers, all the things, and that's helped to hold us accountable with our finances. But budgeting is not simply just putting numbers on a page of what you plan to spend for the month, but the other important part is tracking your spending as you go and following up with your budget throughout the month, which is another really important part of using credit cards. So when you set up your budget, you will list out an amount for each category that you plan to spend on. You may have things like food, eating out, gas, utilities, like all these different categories. And if you're using a credit card, do not put a line item called credit card in your budget, but instead have all of your regular categories and the expenses that you spend on with your credit card just get allocated towards those specific categories. You want to do this because then you're more aware of where you are spending your money, whether or not you're spending it with cash or credit card, but avoid the credit card line item and instead have all of the categories that you would spend your credit card on. And as you go throughout the month, it's important to record your credit card transactions in your budget. Here's how I do that. Once a week, I'll sit down with my budget, Sunday evenings, I'll pull up my budget spreadsheet and I'll also pull up my credit card transactions with my account online. And I will then just enter in all of my individual transactions into my budget template and then update my budget spreadsheet to show my actuals so I can see what I budgeted versus what I actually spent. And I like to do this every week because I'm able to adjust my budget throughout the month if I need. So if my budget for food is $400 and 2 weeks in I notice that we've spent $300, then I could try to figure out if we can eat through some things in the pantry to last us through the next 2 weeks, or maybe I need to increase this line item in our budget, and that means decreasing another category in the budget. All that to say, it's so important to be checking in with your budget throughout the month, not just at the end. And with using credit cards, just look at your credit card transaction list with your online account, enter every transaction into your budget spreadsheet, and that way you can see how your budget's going through the month. The third way to quit overspending with your credit card is to start small. Like I said, when my husband Jacob and I got married and we started using a credit card, we used it for very specific and small things. Like we set up our electricity bill to come out of our credit card and just simple reoccurring things. And this is a really great way to start using credit cards if you're new at it, or if you're trying to get a refresher on not overspending with credit cards. This is a great place to start. Just start small. So set up a few utility bills to go towards your credit card, or maybe you say that I'm only going to use this credit card to pay for gas. Like having a specific thing that comes out of your credit card is a really great place to start. And then of course have payments set up on your credit card to pay that off automatically or schedule it in to make sure that you never have a late payment. The fourth way you can stop overspending on credit cards is to just go all in on credit cards. And I know that that sounds kind of contradictory to the last point, but if you're operating fully on card rather than cash, you'll get in more of this habit of using card. For example, we do not use cash. for anything. I love using credit cards for about everything these days. Anything that I can, I'll put on my credit card because I like to get those points and benefits. But like I said, we started off small. We initially started with just having a couple bills on a credit card and paying for everything else with our debit card. And now that's progressed to basically everything on our credit card. But once you get under this mindset of using card, you then start operating all of your finances off of card, and your budget is everything is off of card. And when you're using all card, you are still updating your budget every month, recording all of your credit card transactions or debit card transactions into your budget template, and you get in this habit of operating your finances that way. For us, we now find that we spend more money or splurge on things when we have cash, because cash is untraceable. I love using card because it shows up in my transaction history online. Like, that number is there. I spent it. Like, it's holding me accountable right there. Whereas with cash, it just kind of like floats away, and I spend a little bit of money on this, a little on that, and I don't have anything that's holding me accountable to that because I don't fully operate off of cash. Now, people who are all cash and use cash envelopes and keep all the receipts for things, and they are operating under that cash mindset. But for me, now that I'm primarily card, whenever I have cash, I just spend it because it's untraceable, if that makes any sense. So maybe you find that you're overspending on your credit card because you're operating with card and cash, and maybe you just need to pick one or do mostly one. And that way you're operating all of your finances and your mindset off of that payment method. So all that to say, you can responsibly use a credit card and benefit off of those points and rewards while still sticking to your budget and being able to accomplish your financial goals without worrying about overspending on unnecessary things. So that is all we have for the video today. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in that next video. Bye.
About to leave, already packing, come with me, I'm not really asking.